Holy stack of a season. Jujutsu Kaisen, Mushoku Tensei, Horimiya, Bungo Stray Dogs, Bleach, Link Click. With so many high caliber shows returning, there's barely any time to watch newly airing animes.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
But thankfully you have me here to tell you that if you manage to find some extra time, yeah, it should probably do something productive, cause this season's kinda cheeks. I don't know if it's just that every returning show is that good, or that last season had an inordinate amount of great new shows, but summer isn't hitting the same. Don't get me wrong, there's still a few bangers, but when reincarnated as a vending machine, the show that I thought would be hilariously bad ends up being one of the better shows, and we might have an issue.
Well, you got me. By all accounts, it doesn't make sense.
Like I said, there's still a couple of real solid animes that I think you should be watching this season.
過度なパワハラによって会社を辞めるという簡単な判断すらできなくなっている。うつや最悪の場合、自ら命を絶ってしまうなんてこともあるんじゃよ。
へえ、ブラック企業って大変そうだな。
Shit, better not let the MAPPA executives see this. Do you hate your job? Like, really hate your job? Do you hate your job so much that if something was to happen that's significantly worse, but it meant that you didn't have to go to that job, you'd actually kind of be happy? That's exactly what Zom 100 is. Akira Tendo, like many of us, has fallen for the scam that is the corporate world. In just 3 short years, he went from eager to start a job in his dream industry to literally almost dying from overwork and exhaustion. Might seem a little extreme, but Japan does face these work culture issues, where employees will have to work extreme hours, having to stay overnight, or even having a second living space like a shitaku closer to the office. You know the situation is fucked when a zombie outbreak is just treated as an extended vacation.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Me? Just hanging around.
While zombies aren't exactly ideal, Tendo finally gets his life back and he's not going to waste any more time. The bucket list of the dead is a list of 100 things that Tendo wants to do before being turned into a zombie. Whether it's hanging out with his boy, growing a sick beard, riding a motorcycle, or confessing his love, there's nothing else getting in the way of doing what he wants. Besides the zombies. This is by far the standout anime of the entire season. Not only is the concept of the show and characters good, but the show looks incredible. Similarly to Studio Bind in Mushoku Tensei, this is Bug Film's first anime as a studio, but they're already making a name for themselves. There's high-end talent from OLM leading the direction, and my god is it impressive. The first episode alone is movie quality, and they've managed to keep that quality for the following ones. The use of color is fantastic. Despite this being a zombie outbreak, blood can range from any color on the rainbow, and my personal favorite shot was this one where Akira finally realizes that he doesn't have to work anymore.
これってもう今日から会社行かなくてもいいんじゃね?
The music fucking slaps and the action sequences are way more fluid than I expected. I just hope the animators here at Bug Films did not have to work like Akira to produce this. Despite the lighthearted nature, Zom does provide valuable lessons about how to use your time and what's actually important in life. And if there's one show I'd have to recommend this season, it's Zom.
私の頼みを聞くとお前が約束してくれるなら、例としてその術を教えてやろう。私を殺してくれ。
What the hell is even that?
Vampires, golems, onis, fucking immortal head. Classic 19th century antics.
Lad, are you dumb? Are you getting rude to man?
I don't believe there's a real underlying message in this show like Zom, but it's still been quite enjoyable. Basically, our guy Suguru is a half-human, half-oni who battles monsters as part of this, circus performance. He is then approached by Aya Rindo. Well, not actually approached, but carried because she's just a head in a birdcage.
You wanna get drunk?
Hell yes.
She happens to be immortal, but wants to commit the not live. Onis are the only beings that can kill immortals, so she enlists the help of Suguru to help find the rest of her body, which apparently is in Europe.
Come on, England!
While searching for her body, the two become a much stranger version of Sherlock Holmes and Watson, solving paranormal mysteries across the land. I suppose that's where the farce part of the show comes in. There's definitely a bit of buffoonery and horseplay afoot, and they most certainly are in fact involved in ludicrously improbable situations. That's basically it so far. Weird supernatural beings solve mysteries about supernatural beings, but it's quite entertaining and there's great displays of deduction with each mystery. What the actual fuck? I guess regardless of how ridiculous the concept, if you have decently likable characters, it's not going to be terrible. My dude's actually got a crazy skill tree and just does his best to help out the people of this dungeon. Only issue might be that every time someone makes a purchase, that money is converted into energy by the vending machine, thus eliminating it from circulation and potentially crippling the economy, but we got beer and chips, so that's chill.
幸せなんて知らなかった。一縷の希望もいつも目の前で消えてしまったから。ずっとそう思って生きてきた。この世界に私は必要のない存在なのだと。
Are you crying? Am I crying? No, I'm not crying. You're crying.
I'll be the first to admit it, I don't really enjoy romance animes.
Take me to him! Come on! Go, 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 go!
Usually they're just roundabout stories where nothing really happens and you're left feeling dissatisfied. Something about this one feels different. It's called My Happy Marriage, but damn has it been depressing as hell so far. It really puts into perspective how years and years of emotional abuse and trauma affect your ability to create relationships in the future. However, it's also incredibly heartwarming to see this person who has had such a rough upbringing finally be shown kindness and not have to worry about every situation. And I'm happy too that the story isn't just about building this romance. The world itself is very interesting and there's already been a few twists and turns around it. I can honestly see the story going a few different ways, which is kind of rare for something in the romance genre. I wasn't expecting anything going into this show, but I've already experienced about every emotion possible while watching. Also, little update, I watched another episode while making this, and
今天我就要把你们这群逆贼一并铲除！动手！
Oh, damn.
I vaguely remember seeing a trailer for the show a while back and thinking it looked insane. When it comes to action scenes, Chinese animations seem to never miss, and that remains the case with Blades of the Guardians. Fight scenes are animated beautifully. Sure, not quite the level of something like Fog Hill of 5 Elements, but the choreography and effects are top-notch. The story is also more engaging than I was expecting. I pretty much just went in wanting to watch fights, but the world is decently fleshed out and the characters are very different and interesting. Dao Ma has this kind of outlawed Ronin aesthetic, and it's been very fun to watch him on his travels. There are some small animation issues, like lighting can either be too light or dark in certain scenes, the CG shots are pretty meh, and mouth folds sometimes don't match up well, but for a show that's free to watch on YouTube with very reasonable 10 to 20 minute episodes to consume, might as well give it a shot. And yeah, that's basically all the new anime I'd recommend this season. There's a lot of generic isekais and other basic romance shows that just didn't stick out to me. They aren't necessarily bad, but when I'm already watching JJK, Mushoku, Bleach, Bungo, and Link Click, I only have time for the real standouts. Shows like Zom and Undead Girl Murder Farce seem to be the ones for me, and I can finish Blades of the Guardians relatively quickly. In a sense, this is one of the most stacked and also least stacked seasons we've had in anime for a long time. But let me know in the comments what shows you're watching. I appreciate the support on all the videos, and as always, if you enjoyed, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. I want to give a shout out to all the people supporting me on Patreon, including Little PK, Killer Bunny, Leon, Peppy Jewel, Nicholas Gutierrez, Tech Rob, Shaky Pants, and Chupa. If you want to support me, the link to that Patreon's in the description. That's all I got for this time. Hope to see you here again.